The other part I want to talk about is the Red Sox and the Hard Knocks. What I don't like about the Red Sox being picked for Hard Knocks is that they're a last place team. What excitement does a last place team do in terms of Hard Knocks, you know? All right, let's take because I'm calling it Hard Knocks. They have their own name for it, whatever the hell it is. But in terms of the actual Hard Knocks, the Jets, I'm representing them on my vest here. It's actually got a kind of a cool back. Uh, but why the Jets were picked was because they made the addition of Aaron Rodgers and they have Sauce Gardner and Breece Hall and Garrett Wilson. They got a lot, and they also have a solid defense, or have or had. I don't know how many free agents there are. That's not my sport of expertise, but regardless, they had something going for them heading into this year. What do the Red Sox have? They got Devers. Devers is pretty cool. Casas has cool hair, I guess. I think he's a redhead now. Um, I mean, like, like, what excitement does the Red Sox Hard Knocks provides? You know, it doesn't excite me, and I think there are a lot better teams, and I'll rattle off three right now. Oh, the other thing, well, we're also talking about or at least while the Jets were still in my mind. Dolphins were picked because they also have flash. You know, they got Tyreek Hill and Waddle and the expectations of Tua, and Mike McDaniels is funny. He allegedly vapes. Smoking's cool, guys. Um no, it's not. But anyways, the why I don't what makes the Red Sox not interesting is not contending. What I think on the other end of the spectrum is teams that are already just are shoo-ins for the playoffs. I don't think that's interesting either. I think, like, all right, let's just do the Braves last year, for example. They had the division locked. They had it locked from essentially day one. There wasn't really a fight for it. So, like, what interesting television does it have? You know, it's the Superman paradox. You know, Superman, this perfect man who has nothing wrong with him. And he has Lois Lane and he can zoom around and he has super strength and he's got the laser eyes and he can fly. And he's just like, what tension does he have? You know, like what drama can be created from a perfect guy, you know, who has everything? Nothing. That's why Superman movies suck. You know, like there hasn't been a good Superman movie. On the other hand, you got Batman. Batman's cool. Why? Because he's just a guy, even though he has like what was it? He went to the it's not karate, but I'm calling it karate in the first Christopher Nolan Batman movie where he fought Liam Neeson. But he Batman's even what Batman makes up for it is that he's just, you know, he's human. He's literally a human. So he can be beat. He can suffer damage. And we saw that. We saw that in that trilogy. And how does this relate to baseball Hard Knocks? It relates to it because you need drama, you need tension. And what the perfect scenario is a team trying to get to the playoffs, a team that does it entering this year, not only doesn't have it guaranteed, but is actively fighting for it. I mean, I got like I put the thing on my Instagram story saying it was the wrong team, and a lot of people are like Mets, Mets, Mets. So it's like I think a lot of a way more interesting choice is the Yankees. I mean, they have the flash that the Jets brought in. Like the Jets, they have that flash move. They have the Juan Soto edition, but they also already have Judge and Cole. And where's the tension though? The tension is that they're in a division that's very heavily packed. I mean, Baltimore looks like they're going to win the division clear cut, but you never know. Um, they also added Corbin Burns, and everyone's like Baltimore looks like they're this powerhouse of the division. But then you also have Tampa, who's like, you look at their moves every offseason and you think like, what the hell are they doing? Why are you trading Austin Met? I mean, this is not last year, but like Austin Meadows was one. Like, man, Austin Meadows had his best season. Why are you trading him? And he goes to Detroit and he completely sucks. But I mean, I know he also had personal issues, so hopefully he seeks the help he needs. But I mean, they traded Blake Snell, another one. Um, again, not last year, but they make moves that are questionable, and then they always pan out in their favor. And then you have Toronto. Toronto is one of those teams that they do have the names. I mean, Vlad Guerrero Jr. is the cover of MLB The Show. I don't think he should be, but he's seen as a face of baseball. Bo Bichette's another really good player. Why the Yankees though? Why do I think the Yankees are a better choice for this? It's because as all of this chaos is going on, they were the team. They were the ones that ruled the division. They were the ones that made the playoffs, however many consecutive years in a row. They're the ones in the New York market, so there's high expectations. There's always that pressure to win, always that pressure from the fan base, and then you have a lot of guys on 1 year contracts. I mean, Soto's going to be an upcoming free agent this year. I know Verdugo is going to be a free agent this year. Rizzo, uh, I've they have a bunch of guys. I saw a graphic somewhere. I'll put it here. But as Baltimore's window is opening and they're creating this team that's seen as the favorites for who knows how many years. They're young, they're youthful, they're exciting, they're the Flash, they got the Corbin Burns, and here are the Yankees whose window is I mean, at least I see it. I see their window declining. Their core is getting older. Who knows what Judge has? I mean, Judge has been one of the best players in baseball, but like you need to win while he's still young. You know, you don't know how his body's going to hold up. He's a big guy. We saw that same concern with Stanton, and we saw Brian Cashman commit his PR disaster class, saying that they're already preparing options for DH because they know Stanton's going to be injured. And there's that conflict of Stanton and I mean, Stanton's always injured, but like you have that additional as man, I'm not gonna say that's the wrong word. I was gonna say facade, but like you have that going on in the background, and that's tension, that's exciting, that's something people are willing to tune in for. As a dynasty, I'm not gonna Yankees aren't at least of this year, they aren't a dynasty, but like as a divisional dynasty, I'll say, because they kept on winning it and winning it and going to the playoffs for so long. But as their window's closing, Baltimore's is opening, and can they hang on? Can they still show that they have it? And that's tension, that's drama, that's what people tune in for. And Boston doesn't have that. Like, you know, like I go on this whole spiel about the Yankees' expectations this year, and then Boston's just there, you know, like what do they have? It feels like going from all that, all I just said to this is just such a massive letdown. I mean, another like good team to follow would have been Philly because they're kind of in that same boat. Not necessarily that their window's closing, but they have had success. I mean, they were just in the World Series and they were just in the NLCS, but they haven't gotten over the big hump. But they still got guys, they still got names, they still got stars. They still have, I mean, Wheeler's going to be a free agent this year, so there's that to kind of an additional drama to add. And they like Like the Yankees, they aren't guaranteed a playoff spot. I mean, I think the AL is looking a little bit more competitive heading into this year than the NL, but Philly isn't guaranteed that spot, and that's exciting. You know, that's what you want to follow. The last team I wanted to mention that I thought would have been a better choice is the Mariners. You know, the Mariners also have the Stars, and marketing's a lot. Like marketing means a lot, and you got Julio Rodriguez, you got Luis Castillo, you got that youthful rotation of Kirby and I want to say Puckett, but that's Kirby Puckett's another guy. You got George Kirby. Oh my God, I'm blanking on the other one, the one with the mustache. But they got they got a solid rotation, and they just traded for Jorge Polanco from the Twins, who provides an additional bat for that lineup. France was an all-star. Um, Munoz is exciting. He's an exciting closer that stepped up once they traded away Paul Sewald to the Diamondbacks. But they're also in a division that's really tough. I mean, you got the reigning World Series champs, Texas Rangers. You got the dynasty of this generation in the Houston Astros, and both of them are doing really well. And how do the Mariners fight for that? How do the Mariners make a name of themselves and fight their way into the wild card spot that you already have the whole AL East fighting? You have Toronto and the Yankees and Tampa and whatever team, I don't know, maybe someone in the AL Central does well. I don't think so. They're just kind of there. They're the NFC South of baseball. But the Mariners are like, they're exciting, and they would have been a good choice. And then I go on and on about all these potential storylines and all the what you call it, players, and like Boston doesn't have that, and I'm disappointed in Netflix for that. This was a really big opportunity to promote baseball. I mean, they Netflix does a good job with this stuff. I remember I watched their golf version of that, and that was really good. I liked that. And this was a really big opportunity. This is like a because they've tried, not Netflix, but HBO tried Hard Knocks baseball in the past, and they picked wrong, and it was just canned after 1 year. They picked they picked I forget if they were the Florida Marlins or the Miami Marlins at the time, but they were they won the offseason that year, or them or the Padres. It was that same either the same year or year before, I forget which, but they brought in Jose Reyes, and I think they extended Hanley Ramirez, and they brought in Mark Burley, and they changed the uniforms, and they were in a new stadium, and they brought in Ozzie Guillen, and then they were out of it. And then you have to fill up like what, 6, 7 months of time, and how exciting is that? You know, like last place teams aren't exciting. I mean, I get like opposite end of the spectrum, a team that's guaranteed to win is not exciting for different reasons, but it's just like it's boring television. It's Netflix grasping at straws, and I the cynical version of me, which is all I mean, I'm always cynical. I'm miserable. That's the name, you know. I think it's just so that they can reuse B-roll. You know, B-roll is the background footage that when, you know, you're talking about you film, you get overheads, you get a drone, you fly it over the stadium, and you can use that again. You know, you just use that same clip of the drone flying over the stadium or the empty stadium clip, and you use that for both documentaries, and you call it a day. And I'm that's what I think about it, and I think Netflix really missed on that. But thank you for sticking around and listening to the end of the First Miserable Mets Fan podcast. If you're still listening, be sure to share. like and share with your friends. Also, be sure to follow me on Twitter at Miserable Met, Miserable and Met capitalized, but all one word. And like, share, subscribe. I'll put a visual graphic here of all that stuff. But thank you.